Let's go back to our top story in Mogadishu, where a loud blast was heard in Somalia's capital, followed by gunfire, according to witnesses. For a full story on what happened, let's cross live to CGTN's Abdulaziz Bilo in Mogadishu. Abdul, is there any information on what the cause of the blast was?
Well, Penina, according to accounts and according to locals that we interviewed there in the Northern District, apparently a suicide bomber tried to storm the facility, that is the Northern District headquarters here in downtown Mogadishu, and security forces opened fire on that vehicle after he failed to hit the call to stop. And apparently after the gunman came, after the suicide bomber came under heavy gunfire, decided to detonate the vehicle that was laden with the explosives, killing almost 6 people according to media accounts here and according to ambulance services. So it was a huge blast, one that could be heard all across the capital city here, Mogadishu, in the early morning hours. And militant group Al-Shabaab was quick to claim responsibility for this attack, saying that it targeted security forces and local government workers, and it's a message that it can continue to cause more havoc here in Mogadishu despite all the security mechanisms in place.
And do we know of any casualties from that incident?
Well, according to the ambulance service, it's putting the figure at 6, most of them security forces and civilians who were caught up in that blast. But then again, media accounts here vary. There are in media houses saying that the death toll has reached 10, owing to the fact that the impact of the explosion, there were houses nearby, there was a mosque near that district headquarters, so that figure is bound to rise. 16 people have been hospitalized with severe injuries from that blast, and the government is appealing for blood donation and for civilians to go to hospitals to donate blood there, and more bodies might be able to be pulled out of the rubble because of the impact of that explosion. It was so huge, Penina, that it was heard all across Mogadishu here, that caused much havoc.
And Abdul, we know that Mogadishu is under siege from these type of incidences. Isn't there adequate efforts to counter these attacks?
Well, Penina, that's a very interesting question, because just 7 days ago there was a massive explosion here in Mogadishu in another district headquarters of Holwedeg that killed almost 6 people. Al-Shabaab also claimed responsibility for that blast. But then again, it seems that security forces here and the intelligence community did not take that heed and increase security in the district headquarters, because it seems to be a pattern. That attack 7 days ago and then another attack on another district headquarters. So one thing that security forces here are saying that the number of attacks they've foiled so far is more compared to the ones that were able to be carried out. So Al-Shabaab on the other end is trying to say that we were kicked out of Mogadishu almost 7 years ago, but we remain powerful and we can strike at will even in the heart of the capital, Mogadishu. On the other end of the Somali government, it's saying that it has increased security measures here in Mogadishu. The entry point to Mogadishu has been tightened. Security are searching vehicles that are coming into Mogadishu, but there's a concern that these vehicles fitted with explosives are fitted within Mogadishu. So it's very hard for the government to know exactly where the militant group is using as a base to fit vehicles with IEDs before targeting government facilities and targeting public areas. So generally, security remains a major concern here for the Somali government, and Al-Shabaab has vowed to step up more attacks here in Mogadishu, Penina.
All right, Abdul, thank you very much for that update. Abdulaziz Bilo live in Mogadishu.